Greetings and salutations, everybody. All right, so welcome, everybody. Wonderful Sunday morning. It's week 6 of the 2020 fantasy football season. In a couple seconds, I'm going to show you the updated rankings for Sunday morning. Today's, Sunday morning games. Today's games in general. It's a lot less stressful than last week for some reason because, of course, there isn't this entire looming idea that, is a game going to get canceled or not. So this week, I think, is a lot easier in terms of ranking everything, in terms of preparing everything. Hopefully, everybody's ready to go. Again, there's 2 Monday night games, Dallas versus the Cardinals, and then we have of course, Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Buffalo Bills. So don't forget about those. We should be good to go, and I'll switch to the rankings. Okay, so if you're in the chat right now, make sure click the like button down below. I really do appreciate you guys doing that, supporting the channel that way. These are rankings that I've updated and are up to date as of literally today. Went in, did some moving around, of course. As you can see on the very left of the screen, we have players that have been given the out designation for this week that are probably in many of your guys' rosters or potentially in your lineups. Make sure you get guys like Dalvin Cook, Melvin Gordon, Deontay Johnson, Sammy Watkins, Noah Fant, and Mo Alley Cox out of your lineups and get a viable sub for them. Of course, guys like Alexander Madison within my top 4 rankings in a half PPR. And then Philip Lindsay sits at number 25, kind of replacing Melvin Gordon at that spot. Outside of that, everything should be good to go. I'm ready to start fielding questions, of course. For those of you who have a question on which quarterback to start or which running back to start, the screen right behind me should pretty much answer it. If you're looking to get some of your flex questions answered, because I give private flex rankings and private rankings to Patreon supporters, if I was to just answer every flex question, I basically be betraying those incredible supporters that have been helping me out. So we've designated it to where I'll only be answering flex questions via donation, and or if I have some time prior to the end of the stream. Outside of that, should be good to go. I don't want to get too far behind here. I want to start answering people's questions in the chat as much as I possibly can, because again, I'm trying to help you guys out here. Okay, so let's see. A couple questions have already came in. Perry, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. It says pick one: Edmonds, Damian Harris, Hilton, or Gallup at the flex. If it's a half PPR, I'm probably rolling with Edmonds today. There's a lot of uncertainty with specifically Hilton and Gallup and their roles within those offenses, their potential target counts going forward. I know what I can get out of Chase Edmonds. I've seen it, especially in a full PPR. He's that much more viable there. Damian Harris right now goes against the toughest run stop defense in terms of giving up points to opposing quarterbacks this season, and the fact that there's such a rotation there with Burkhead and White leads me to just pick Edmonds there. So that's my suggestion, Perry. Thank you. Derek Just says Damian Harris or Adrian Peterson in a full PPR. Both of them aren't probably going to get any work in the passing game. You'll see probably Adrian Peterson catch the ball here and there, but I think that Adrian Peterson's matchup in specific, playing against Jacksonville, is far too advantageous to bench him in place of Damian Harris. So I'm going to go with Adrian Peterson there. Derek, appreciate it. Jack says, need to Chase Claypool, Antonio Gibson, or Justin Jefferson. I like Claypool a lot today. I think, where do I have him? I think I have him like 25, perhaps. He's climbed in my rankings as of late, at 27. So I've got him at my number 27 wide receiver. In comparison, I think I had him at like 20. To be honest, he's got a high ceiling because of Deontay Johnson's absence, right? But he's not going to score 3 touchdowns. If he scores a touchdown, gets himself 50 receiving yards, that'd be fantastic, right? That's best case scenario this week, in my opinion. In comparison to the other guys you were mentioning, we just have a greater, I guess, depth of play that we've seen this year. Like, I know what at least Jefferson's capable of doing, especially against that Atlanta secondary, and I've seen Antonio Gibson's touches and his touchdown upside, and the fact that he gets all the work on the goal line. And Kyle Allen will probably be a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins going forward in that offensive scheme. So as of right now, I'm kind of leaning Jefferson and Gibson there. If you want the high upside, you can potentially go for Claypool. But to be honest, I think Jefferson has just as much upside based on matchup. And I always want to go with that running back in a half PPR just because the stability of touches and guaranteed touches there. Just give me a little bit of greater sense of safety there at the position. Okay, appreciate it, Jack. Noah says, flex Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, or OBJ. I'm playing Jonathan Taylor. Cincinnati's run defense has not been great. I think the Indianapolis Colts are going to try everything they possibly can in their power to hide Phillip Rivers in this offense. Of course, Phillip Rivers has not played well, and likelihood of him probably being a guy that's going to throw the ball 15 times and they're just going to run the ball the rest of the way through seems like something that they're probably going to lean on as much as they possibly can. So Jonathan Taylor should be a great play today. He's my suggestion of those three. No, I appreciate it. Victor R says, half PPR, Mostert, Chenault, or Edmonds. It's Mostert, and it's not even close. Yeah, I like Mostert a lot today. I appreciate it, Victor. Project Boy 22 says 1 Kittle or Jonnu Smith 2 Christian. Is this a trade? I don't know. Okay. It says 1 Kittle or Jonnu Smith 2 Kirk Cousins or Keelan Cole. Okay, so yeah, I'll take Kittle over Jonnu Smith, and I'll take Christian Kirk over Keelan Cole. That's my suggestion there, Project Boy. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Chandler Singh says, love the work, bud. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for the donation. Standard League. Last flex, Drake, Devontae Parker, AJ Brown. Okay, I like that question. I have Mike Davis, CEH, A-Rob, Devontae Adams, Rob locked with Jonnu. Okay, no, you know what it is? It got cut off. Let me, yeah. Devontae Adams, R-Rob, maybe you're thinking J-Rob, like James Robinson. I think that's what it is. James Robinson, and then locked with Jonnu. Okay, I mean, to be honest, of the group, I probably am playing AJ Brown today, even in a standard league. I like the amount of touches that Kenyon Drake gets, and I like the matchup. But as of right now, I think there's a lot of high upside with AJ Brown there. And I don't really want to trust Drake when I have the options of a Devontae Parker and or AJ Brown in pretty advantageous matchups. Kalen in the chat, Kalen Levine said, we trusting Julio today? Question mark. Yeah, I'm trusting him today. Again, if he's healthy, he's fully practicing. He has not been hit with a injury designation, according to the Falcons. Let's remember. I mean, it was 2 weeks ago. Was it week 4, Monday Night Football? He got that hamstring injury. Was it week 4? Yeah, it was week 4. So he had an entire week and then an entire other week to prepare for this game. So he's been 2 weeks off here. For week 6's contest against Minnesota, which again, their secondary hasn't been great all year long. So in my opinion, yeah, I'm trusting Julio today. But to answer Chandler's question again, I'm probably playing AJ Brown there as your last flex. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Nels Santiago says, no question today, bro. Just wanted to say thank you for all the fantasy football magic you provide. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Nels. Oh, okay. Let's see here. What the heck happened there? Appreciate the kind words, by the way. Really does help. Tony says, 1 for the flex, PPR. Julio, Justin Jefferson, Gibson. I'm going to go Julio. Yeah, I'm rolling Julio today. I think there's so much potential upside there. I think the offense as a whole will look better. I think Matt Ryan will look better just because of the entire, just implementation of Julio in this offense. Another piece that he can go to on a, downly basis. Somebody else in the chat, Robeezy, the God, says, trusting Chark today. Okay, that's a great question. I trust him to an extent, right? If I have a little bit of a better option, I'm kind of leaning towards it. But a lot of people don't have that many better options than Chark. So yeah, I'm still going to trust him in my lineups. I'm still playing him in a lot of my lineups today because, again, I think to myself, he's still a very capable wide receiver. Hopefully his ankle injury isn't going to impede on majority of his opportunities or success today. Hopefully he doesn't re-injure it. That's the entire concern. That's why I think I have him at number 30, if I'm not mistaken, on the rankings. Let me go ahead and where's my OBS here? Today as a wide receiver, I have him at 30. Yeah. So if I have a little bit of a better option, then I'm going to go with that. Otherwise, I'm very comfortable rolling him out there again this upcoming week. So thank you for that question in the chat. Now that we've gotten Julio kind of established and DJ Chark established. I mean, those were probably the 2 biggest question marks going into this week in terms of guys that we could figure out. Eric Torres in the chat was saying, buy low on Fournette. Yeah, it does not look good for Fournette at all. I mean, the fact that he's been injured the last 2 weeks, what I'm hearing is that he'll probably suit up for tonight's game against Green Bay, but he's going to be at a limited capacity. That doesn't bode well for him at all. So his fantasy productivity, his opportunity, it's going down the drain. And to be honest, Ronald Jones has earned the starting job. And going forward, unless something crazy happens, Ronald Jones should be the starter the rest of the season because he truly has earned it with the 2 back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. Okay, so let's get back to these. Okay, so Tony, Julio Jones. Perfect. Let's go. Let's see here. Mini Tabs says, as an Eckler owner, should I, as an Eckler owner, trade Latavius Murray to the Alvin Kamara owner for his Justin Jackson? Yeah. Because, think about it this way. If you don't have Justin Jackson, the next 4 to 5 weeks for you are going to be pretty grim in terms of having an actual productive running back, because you're not going to find that kind of productivity from Latavius Murray, especially once Michael Thomas comes back next week. There's another mouth to feed in that offense. There's another guy to get 10 plus targets or even more catches. So yeah, I would trade Latavius Murray for Justin Jackson at this moment in time. I know Latavius Murray is looked at as the the golden ticket to take you to the chocolate factory at the end, but and win a championship if in fact something happens to Kamara. But I think at this moment in time, considering you've lost Eckler and you're going to need to pick up wins in the next 5 weeks in order to ensure yourself a playoff spot in your fantasy league, I would make that trade. This one's a very difficult name to pronounce. Godia? Wait, I don't even know. We're just going to call you Goat. All right, Got ya ba. I don't know. Got ya. How about that? Hey, buddy. Thanks for the info from Toronto. You got to explain to me how to pronounce that name. I'm struggling out here, but let's see. Half PPR, 12-team league. Cobb, Tanyan as my flex, ? And then the next question is, no depth on my bench currently, number 1 in my league. Congrats on being number 1 in the league. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. So make sure you understand that people are coming for you. They're going to be gunning for you every single week. You got more to lose every single week than anybody else. Either way. In terms of the flex this upcoming week and a half PPR, I'm probably more, I'm actually curious because I know Randall Cobb gets a couple receptions here and there. I'm more inclined to probably play Robert Tonyan this week because of how impressive he's been in terms of overall productivity. Okay, so let's see here. On an average week, Randall Cobb is a 5-catch, 50-yard guy. That's what he is. So in a half PPR basis, he's 7.5 points. If you'd like to try to cash in on 7.5 points, you can. I personally am probably going to go and try to get some touchdown upside with Tanya. He scored a touchdown in each of the last 3 games that he's played in. So personally, I'd rather go there. I'm looking for the more of an upside play. If you're looking for safety, you're just trying to lock down a safe 6 to 7, 8 points, maybe with some potential upside, which I don't really kind of see happening, then you can go with Cobb. But I'm going to personally go with Tanya this week. Appreciate it. Let's hear it. Aiden says, Miles Sanders or David Montgomery as my RB2. Okay, so here's the reason why I have David Montgomery so high on my list, so everybody kind of has an understanding. The Carolina Panthers, they give up the most points to opposing running backs as of right now. Just saying that doesn't make it 100% objectively the greatest matchup, but just to kind of give you some perspective as to how many yards they've given up to opposing running backs in the last couple of weeks and the kind of performances that they've had dropped on them. Like Josh Jacobs, week 1, 93 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 46 yards. An incredible game. The week after that, Leonard Fournette, 12 carries, 103 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Even Ronald Jones had a rushing touchdown in the game with limited carries. The week after that, we had Austin Eckler, 11 catches, 84 yards, and then had himself 60 yards on the ground for a touchdown. The week after that, the Arizona Cardinals did not get the memo that they were supposed to play well on the ground, but Chase Edmonds, even though on through the air, 5 catches, 24 yards, and a touchdown. The week after that, Todd Gurley, 121 and a touchdown. Every single team is dominated against them. On top of it, Derek Brown, the rookie first-round pick this year, he's out this today, if I'm not mistaken. And Kawan Short, their other defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman, he's going to be put on the IR. They're going to be struggling in terms of their upfront defensive line. They're going to be running the rock. Chicago is going to be trying to just kill clock today. And I think David Montgomery is the key to success there. So now that we've gotten that narrative understood, That's why I'm going David Montgomery over Miles Sanders today. Appreciate it. Also, Miles Sanders doesn't have Lane Johnson today. That's a pretty big blow to that offense. I mean, that right tackle position. I mean, Lane Johnson is an all-pro monster. I mean, when I used to play Ultimate Team, that guy was the guy you wanted as your right tackle at all times because he had so much speed. But on top of it, he's just a perennial all-pro and one of the best. So missing him today is going to be tough, especially against the Ravens. Berlin B says Keelan Cole, Christian Kirk, T. Higgins. Personally, of the group, it's between Christian Kirk and T. Higgins because I know Chark's going to play. I know Chenault's going to play. I'm not really looking to try to grab Keelan Cole and any sort of upside that he's related to. As of right now, I'm kind of leaning in the direction of a T. Higgins. Let me go see where my ranking is. T. Higgins is there. Christian. Okay. I have Christian Kirk higher than T. Higgins this week. Mainly, obviously, because the Dallas matchup. And on top of it, the Indianapolis matchup. That's kind of the difference maker there. But Christian Kirk is my suggestion, Berlin. We appreciate the donation. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. Ben says, flex Chase Edmonds, Myles Gaskin, or DeAndre Swift. I'm going to go Myles Gaskin. Again, the guy's touching the ball, almost 15 times a game on the ground, gets himself 4 to 5, 6 catches through the air, has the upside, plays against the New York Jets today. Touchdown upsides potentially there, especially if they get and mount an early lead. They can go ahead and run the ball for the entirety of the rest of the second half. I think he's got just as much upside as Chase Edmonds and DeAndre Swift and an even safer floor. So that's why I go with Gaskin today. Thank you, Ben. Let's hear. Mogster206 says, flex Kenyon Drake or David Johnson? I'm probably going to go with David Johnson. I know that Tennessee's defense, in terms of the last time we saw them on Tuesday night, looked relatively good, especially against stopping Devin Singletary, but Devin Singletary just didn't show up to the game. He wasn't there. TJ Eldon was able to make some plays here and there, but those were garbage time plays. I still think that as of right now, I have a lot more confidence in the potential of David Johnson. Again, last week had the most touches that he's had on the ground thus far this season. I think it was 17 rushing attempts. When I look at what specifically Tennessee's given up on the ground this year, it's pretty glaring to me that they're not the greatest run stop defense, and that on Tuesday, it was a matter of Tennessee took such an early lead that the run wasn't a priority for the Buffalo Bills, and they kind of went away from it a little too early. But this season, Melvin Gordon went for 78 and a touchdown. James Robinson went for 100 and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook went for 180 and a touchdown against that defense. So I'm more inclined to roll with a guy like David Johnson this upcoming week over Kenyon Drake. Appreciate it. Eric Carr says half PPR. Pick 2. OBJ, Crowder, Parker, Juju. Who do I start? Okay, cool. So as of right now, I really like OBJ this week. I think the matchup against Pittsburgh, as good as it gets for him, especially with the fact that I know it's tough because Pittsburgh is always going to be coming out and firing on all cylinders. They're probably going to get a pretty significant lead. I expect Pittsburgh to win this game. And that being said, it'll probably lead Cleveland to probably having to throw the ball even that much more and trying to keep up. And OBJ is a talented enough receiver, and this secondary, like we talked about earlier in the week, is so bad that they just really haven't been able to cover much. So after we talk about OBJ, it probably just then goes to do you have Crowder here? Yeah, it goes to Jamison Crowder. Even with Joe Flacco starting this week and Sam Darnold being out, they're just trying to lose games. But I mean, we saw who Joe Flacco prefers last week. He sent the ball in the direction of Jamison Crowder exclusively, and I think that's going to happen again, and I kind of have to just rely upon that and his stability. 3 back-to-back 100-yard games, I mean, in the receiving games, but yeah, overall, I have a lot of confidence in OBJ, Crowder. So, but as of right now, the way that you named it's pretty much what I have it on screen behind me in a half PPR sense. OBJ, Crowder, Parker, Juju. Thank you very much, Eric. Victor Burgess says, hey man, appreciate the time. Yeah, no problem. PPR, any moves here? Starting Davis, Madison, beautiful, love those two. Evans, Fuller, Robinson, great. Sitting Crowder, Taylor, Sanders, okay, and Hollywood. I mean, you've got such a good team that it hurts to say that you're gonna, sit some of these really good players. But yeah, I'm okay with what you're starting. That's how I would approach it. That's literally my rankings. That's what I'm doing. I trust the productivity of Robinson, Madison, and Davis. Fuller has been a consistent, player this year and has a pretty, relatively good matchup. And then Evans, of course, with Godwin, gets a little bit of the pressure alleviated off his shoulders and gets the kind of ball out today. So that's what I'm going with. I think the roster is good to go. Appreciate the donation. Keith says, CEH, Madison, Sanders, Hill, Godwin, Jones. Sit one in a standard league. Okay, interesting question. In a standard league, I feel like I'm more inclined to sit a receiver, to be honest, today. But to be honest, oh man, I feel like they might run CEH a lot because, okay, so here's my thought process. I know I didn't make a video on Le'Veon Bell, but I think CEH in the next 2 weeks should be a pretty good play. He'll probably get majority of the touches going in the next couple weeks. Sorry, I gotta check something on my phone. So I like CEH, I like Madison, I like Sanders, all in a standard league. I mean, Sanders is the only one who scares me a little bit, but I still want to kind of roll with the running back in this scenario. So I might honestly sit Godwin. Yeah, I might honestly sit Godwin. So I probably, in a standard league, because the receiver position has to have that much more yards or work in terms of touchdowns to be relevant. I'm going to play Keith. I'm going to play CEH, Madison, Sanders, Hill, and Jones. And I'm just going to leave Godwin on the bench, unfortunately, this week. Lucha says Chark, and then he put a Shark. Okay, so DJ Shark or Boyd in a full PPR. I have Boyd that much, just a slight bit higher than him. I think he's one rank above in this half PPR sense. Let's see here. Tyler Boyd is my number 29, and Chark is my 30. So in a full PPR, it's basically going to be the same. If anything, it might even be more skewed in the direction of Tyler Boyd because, 7 reception kind of guy every single week, and that kind of safe floor is just always nice to have. I honestly am probably playing Boyd. There is an inherent risk typically with playing a guy that is coming off injury, and he hasn't even been full practice this week. He missed a couple practices, then was limited on Friday. So there isn't a designation for me to 100% be like, you know what, I'm feeling confident for Chark over Boyd. So as of right now, I'm going to go with Boyd. Appreciate it, Lucha. Chapstick 1979 says McLaurin or AJ Brown. I'm going to play AJ Brown today. I think I've mentioned this earlier this week. Let me just go ahead and confirm it. So the last time AJ Brown, obviously this past week was fantastic, right? The fact he can come out 7 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown, beautiful. We love to see that. Corey Davis still out. That's that relatively helps him in terms of targets. But the last time he played against Houston last year, week 15 and 17 of the 2019 season. Week 15, he had himself an 8-catch, 114 yards and a touchdown game. In week 17, had himself 4 catches, 124 and a touchdown. He's a monster, to say the very least. So he's had some pretty good games in the past against Houston. I'm excited about his potential today over McLaurin's Chapstick. So I'm going to go AJ Brown. Let's see here. Josh Rubin says Antonio Gibson or Rojo. I'm going to go with Rojo today against Green Bay. Again, I think Green Bay's, in the bottom 5 in terms of how many, or technically they're in the top 5. They give, some of the most points to opposing running backs every single week because they're not great in terms of stopping the run. But again, with Aaron Rodgers scoring so much, it forces teams to get away from the run, but regardless. So I'm going to go with Rojo over Antonio Gibson. In terms of the flex position, you're saying Robbie Anderson, Woods, Gibson, or Rojo, whatever one is in. Okay, cool. In a full PPR. In a full PPR, I'd probably lean towards either Woods or Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson has a little bit of a tougher matchup this week than he typically does. Playing against Atlanta last week is obviously a walk in the park. I know a little bit of, I'm pretty sure Emmanuel Mosley is coming back for San Francisco, so that does kind of give them a little bit of help in terms of their secondary against Robert Woods. I'm still thinking let me go see my my full PPR. Where is Robbie Anderson? He's still there. Yeah. In a full PPR, I'm more likely to run out Robbie Anderson. The amount of grabs that he's gotten this season, if he's going to catch the ball 8-10 times a game, he's got so much innate value there with his baseline floor in comparison to Robert Woods, who will catch the ball maybe 4, 5, 6 times a game, that I'd rather just go with Robbie Anderson and his potential. So I'm going to go with Rojo and Robbie Anderson. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Xavier Harper says sit one, start one. Jefferson versus Atlanta, Woods versus San Francisco. I'm going to play Woods today against San Francisco. That's just my thought process. Again, the volatility of Jefferson going against Seattle and disappearing and then having a great game against Houston or any of these other teams, that's great. It's just, again, we gotta be careful again with him. I think just the safer play as of right now is Woods, and that's why I'm gonna go there. DJ 622, appreciate it. Are you going to any movies at 10 a.m. again? Hello, Mayo. We used to do that a couple years ago. I mean, look, I used to have an AMC A-list card, so where I pay $20 a month, and I could see 3 movies a week every week, right? And I would go a lot, but with this entire COVID situation, the movie theater I used to go to closed, gone. There are no movie theaters here in California, or in my area in California, that are open. Like, I'd have to drive an hour plus to find a movie theater legitimately that's open, and at that point, it's not even worth it. But yeah, no, I appreciate the question. That's the deep cut right there. That's the 2 years ago, I'm gonna go watch Spider-Verse kind of thing. Anyway, appreciate it. Robeezy the God says, how do you feel about Chark versus Mecole Hardman? Mecole Hardman has a lot of upside. The potential of him is definitely up there. Am I willing to 100%? Look, I even dropped Mecole Hardman a tad bit because I'm afraid that he could show up and then just 6 catches, 60 yards, and then disappear, right? That's what I'm afraid of. But obviously he has such a high upside. He should play a lot today. I'm probably going to play Chark in that specific scenario, and then just leave Hardman on my bench. If he ends up popping off, that'll be 3 performances out of the last 4 games in which he can have 10 plus points. And then I think about potentially playing him in the future or shipping him out as a trade option. But as of right now, my thoughts and my feeling between Chark and Hardman is that I'm probably going to roll with Chark today. Andrew Horton says, hey, Andrew, 2 things. What do you think about CEH from here on out? Okay. I'll address that in a second. Sell high after this week. Yep. Also, what do you think about Henderson versus... what's your thinking on Henderson over Mixon? Yeah, okay. So, as of right now, CEH, I think you can get pretty relatively good production out of him in the next 2 weeks. That being said, you're probably going to have to sell him at that point. What the heck is going on? My lighting is a little weird. It's because I'm wearing a black shirt that everything kind of looks weird. So my apologies. That's the thing with the green screen behind me. If I wear a dark color, it just kind of makes me look a lot paler than I am. But I don't even go outside, so I don't see any sun. I'm a vampire at this point. It's a joke, by the way. Okay. Anyway, I need a button that just boom. I'm gonna figure that out. Anyway, CEH, you could probably get 2 good weeks out of him. This upcoming week and next week, he'll probably still be great play. From then on out, with Le'Veon Bell, I think they might use Le'Veon Bell more as a running back, or a receiving threat rather than a running back. But we're obviously gonna have to wait and see. I try to sell him personally. I'm gonna try to ride him the next 2 weeks and then sell him for as high as I possibly can. So hopefully he has a good week here. Hopefully he scores a touchdown. In terms of Henderson over Mixon, Henderson in 3 out of the last 4 weeks has put up 18 plus points. I know Mixon has been getting incredible touches in the last 2 weeks, 30 touches each of the last 2 weeks. But to be honest, against Indianapolis, even if he does the same thing, it's kind of tough. Niner Max is just take the shirt off. Listen, you got to pay for that kind of action, bro. Come on. You got to listen. I'll start an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, Henderson's just been far more consistent in terms of overall fantasy production, getting consistent touches in the last couple weeks. And of course, the offense is just that much better in comparison to the Bengals. So right now, I'm in the thought process that Darrell Henderson is just that much better than Joe Mixon. But Joe Mixon's got so much opportunity. He's getting 6 catches in each of the last 2 weeks in the passing game. That is a number that in a full PPR kind of gives him a little bit of a way to get in the conversation of potentially being higher than Henderson. But in a half PPR, I'm still going to roll with Henderson this week. Okay, TB says half PPR, Higgs or Preston Williams. Okay, I'm going to go with Preston Williams there. Hart says Williams. Yeah, so Shody's yours, so does mine. Good to go, TB. Thank you very much. Alex Apking says Robbie Anderson, Kenny Golladay, Tyler Boyd, Will Fuller, pick 3. Kenny G, Robbie Anderson, Will Fuller, Alex Apking. Those are my 3 suggestions. Thank you very much. Appreciate the donation. Berlin B, Darrell Henderson or David Montgomery in a standard? David Montgomery. Joe Smalls says PPR flex. Pick 1. Edmonds, White, Swift, or Henderson. I'm going to play Henderson there. Chad Ziegler says PPR, need 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, J.D. McKissick, Zach Moss, Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins, Chark. Okay, so of the 1 running back that you're going to select, I'm personally going to suggest that you go J.D. McKissick, especially in a PPR league. The guy's going to potentially get you 10 points there, so that's a great play. That's perfectly fine, considering how much work he gets out of the backfield in terms of the passing game. That being said, then we go to the wide receiver position. I'm going to go with Chark and probably... I don't think I have Jeudy in my top 36, do I? No. Let me... Where's my actual rankings here? So, where is Mr. G? I think I have Jerry Jeudy ahead of T... I have T. Higgins and Jerry Jeudy back-to-back. Okay. Here's the thing. Last week, I was high on Jerry Jeudy because Stephon Gilmore was going to be out, and so was McCourty. So I thought, okay, if they play that game against Denver, there's a very good opportunity that maybe we see Jerry Jeudy have another great week. I still think that with Drew Lock coming back, he's going to have to throw the ball somewhere. So I'm probably more inclined to kind of, I think if I'm not mistaken, AJ Green's still playing. So I probably go with Jeudy as a more of an upside play. If you're looking for just safety in like 5 catches for 50 or 60 yards, that would be Higgins. But if you're looking for a little bit more upside, then you go with Jerry Jeudy, and that's my suggestion as of right now. Okay, let's go back here. John Fox. Where the heck did that go? Okay. Trust me, guys, if I haven't read your question and answered it yet, it's mainly because I'm very long-winded in my answers, so it takes me a while. I'm going to try to get through these as quick as I possibly can, because I know your time is very valuable. Just trying to manage as best I can. Thank you very much. While we're at it, there's almost 800 new in here. If you guys can do me a favor, click that like button. Really does make a huge difference for the channel. Allows a lot of other people to find the channel, grow the channel going forward. I mean, we just hit 30,000 subs, guys. We're so close to 31,000. I don't even know what the heck happened, but again, thank you guys. Click the like button. I gotta click the like button myself on my own video, so let's go do that real quick because I haven't even done that myself. So we'll click that. Boom. Thank you very much. 161. Appreciate it. If you guys could do that for me today. Okay, so let's see here. John Foster says Fulgham, Marvin Jones, or Beasley full PPR. As much as I kind of want to go Fulgham there, I do think that Cole Beasley's probably the safest play in that entire scenario. Let me see here. Cole Beasley. Let's see what kind of reception. I mean, I know he had 10 plus points. I mean, he had a touchdown a couple weeks back, which was the biggest difference maker. In terms of catches, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6. So let's say he catches 5 passes today for 50 some odd yards. You get 10 points out of him. I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind a 10-point play if he's my wide receiver 3. I think Fulgham is probably going to get more targets, more opportunity there, which makes me want to play him over Cole Beasley because I think there's more upside there. So I personally would probably risk it and go Fulgham. But if you're looking for the safe alternative, it's 150% Beasley. I think Marvin Jones hasn't proven enough this year to get consideration. So it's either the safe play of Beasley or you go with the risky for the biscuit play in Fulgham, which I'd probably kind of roll with. Tony says, with all your Julio confidence, who wins this game? Oh, Minnesota still wins. It's not even close to me. I mean, Julio Jones producing in fantasy does not correlate to the Atlanta Falcons winning the game because Julio's presence does not make Atlanta's secondary better. So I'm still thinking Minnesota wins the game. I think they're minus 4.5 right now. I think the spot where I had him at was like minus 4. So it just seemed like it was too good of an option. I'll take Minnesota minus 4. Let's see here. James Landrum says, I have Bridgewater and Minshew. Andy Dalton is available to pick up. Who should I choose to play? And if I get Dalton, who should I drop? Okay, so it's a matter of... Okay, personally, I'd play Andy Dalton. I think there's too much talent surrounding him for him to not produce well. I also think that even though Arizona's defense has, had a couple good glimpses here and there, that they're not an elite defense to any stretch of the imagination. So in terms of who do you drop, let me see the Jaguars' upcoming schedule. Just curious. So in terms of their upcoming schedule, Jags play against the Lions, Chargers, Okay, and let's go look at this Panthers schedule here. I'm not really caring about bye weeks at this point because I'd keep Bridgewater. The matchups are far too juicy. They play against the Saints, the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Lions. You keep Bridgewater. So I'd drop Minshew and I'd play thing this week. I mean, to be honest, Teddy Bridgewater has been consistent. He could potentially even be started this week, but I just prefer Andy Dalton. But I drop Minshew and I pick up Dalton and probably play him this week. James, appreciate it. Jesse says, Higgins, Hardman, Marvin Jones, full PPR. I'm probably playing Hardman in that scenario. Appreciate it, Jesse. Michael Alvarado says, I need 2 wide receivers and a flex, full PPR, Diggs, Ridley, Parker, Godwin, Gaskin. Okay, 2 wide receivers. Of the ones that you mentioned, I'm going to go Ridley and Diggs. And then at my flex, in a full PPR, I'm going to go Godwin. I'm going to leave Parker and Gaskin, which is crazy. Both Dolphins, I'm leaving them on the bench against the Jets, which sounds crazy, but Ridley, Diggs, and Godwin are just that much better of plays in my eyes, Michael. Appreciate it. Let's see. Andy Wardlaw. Wardlaw is an interesting last name. Never heard that one. Juju, Montgomery, Gurley, Brandon Cooks, flex play. To be honest, it seems like it's probably Gurley, then Montgomery, then Juju, then Brandon Cooks. So in that order. Gurley, Montgomery, Juju, Cooks. Appreciate it, Andy. Jinku, you're a Patreon sub, dude. Did you send me a question? Maybe I missed it. You don't gotta donate, bro. Just ask me and I'll get to you, dude. Don't worry about it. I always check the Patreon on Sunday. So, but I do appreciate the extra support, Jinku. Got a couple players on bye. I have your 25 through 28, but my gut feeling is telling me to bench Slayton and play the other 3. Appreciate you. Thoughts? Let's see here. Where's my 25 through 28 here? So 25 through 28 is Darius Slayton, Marquise Brown, Chase Claypool, and DJ Moore. I mean, listen, they're that close in my rankings because, again, I expect them to produce similar numbers. Now, if somebody has an incredibly high upside game that is out of the ordinary, then, that's fine. But if somebody also disappears and only has 1 catch, that's just the volatility of the receiver position. But as right now, if you want to play Marquise Brown, Claypool, and Moore over Darius Slayton, I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I think it's perfectly fine. I just think like the targets that DJ Moore has gotten this season in comparison to Mike Davis and Robbie Anderson leans me away from him more than Slayton. I think that's the only cutting point where I'm like, I'd much rather have Slayton. But if, again, you want to go with Moore, I'm not going to stop you. I think it's perfectly fine. Appreciate the donation. If you have another question, just send it to me on the Patreon or Discord. Either way. Let's see here. Derek says, Jasicki or Tanyan at tight end. I'm going to go, if I'm not mistaken. Where the heck's my rankings? Yeah, I'm going Tanyan. Yeah, about to say. I was like, I got to confirm before I say the wrong thing here. Flex, Woods or Gaskin. I'd probably go Gaskin, to be honest. I like the touches. I mean, if he touches the ball 20 times, I think there's just more innate value there. Let's hear. Bohemia's 2000 says, pick 2, full PPR, Kupp, Slayton, Higgins, or Freeman. I'm going to play Kupp and Slayton there in a full PPR. Appreciate it. Bohemia's 2000. Steve Alvarez says, full PPR, start 1, Singletary, Lindsey, or Edmonds. If I'm not mistaken, where do I got Singletary on this list? I think I got Edmonds a little bit higher than him. Yeah, I got Edmonds higher than both Singletary and Lindsey. So I'm going to go Edmonds this week there. I was like, I'm pretty sure. I'm a little low on Singletary after he burnt me this past Tuesday pretty badly. And then Zach Moss coming back. TJ Yeldon was getting a lot of work, especially on third downs. A little concerning to me. So I'm just going to lean away from him. And then, of course, Lindsey, even though he's going to be the starting running back today. I still think, the Patriots defense pretty good. So they're going to definitely give that team a little bit of trouble. So I'm going to go Edmonds there. Let's see here. Keyshawn Banis says, will John Brown play and be productive? Will he play is a completely different conversation. I'm not certain, but this is the insurance that I can give you. If, in fact, Mecole Hardman's available in your league, you can go ahead and maybe potentially play him in that matchup if John Brown's not healthy. But I expect John Brown to be healthy and be able to produce. If John Brown misses, there's no Mecole Hardman in your league. Gabriel Davis, another guy. Cole Beasley, another guy. These are other receiving options that you could potentially pick up and play if, in fact, he goes out on Monday night. But as right now, there is no clear designation that he's 100% going to play. And that's why he's a little bit ranked lower than typically where he produces. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Perry says, Chark or James White, half PPR flex? That's a good question. I'll probably go Chark there. A little bit more upside against James White. Alex Apking says, I want to pick up Justin Jackson for the next few weeks. My league is a full PPR. I have to drop Chase Edmonds or Phillip Lindsay to get Jackson. I dropped Phillip Lindsay. Like that. Drop of a hat. I don't even care. They can have Phillip Lindsay because, Melvin Gordon's not going to be punished for the DUI. The only reason he's missing today is because he has strep throat. That's it. Otherwise, Phillip Lindsay's still the backup. So I'd go and pick up Justin Jackson right now, Alex. Sean Anthony says, got Lockett, A.J. Brown, Fuller, Allen Robinson, Jamison Crowder. Can I have your receivers? Like, my goodness. I'm always projected to bench Crowder, but he kills every week. Any advice on starting Crowder? So Lockett is on a bye week, so we don't even have to mention him. So it's between A.J. Brown, Fuller, Allen Robinson, and Jamison Crowder. Now, according to my rankings, I'd probably play those three guys over Crowder. And I'm probably still going to kind of buy in on that. I know Crowder's good, and that's why he sits at rank 16. But am I willing to play him over an Allen Robinson, A.J. Brown, Fuller? No. Damn, that does hurt. If you're going to play him over someone, dude, I'm not playing him over Allen Robinson. I'm not playing him over A.J. Brown today. And Will Fuller's been I'm playing those three guys over Crowder. It's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. Honestly, if I'm you, I'm going to try to package Crowder and send him because you can't play him in your roster because your guys are so damn good, especially once Lockett comes back. That's just my thought, Sean Anthony. Appreciate it. Faint Ski says, flex, Singletary or Julio. 100% Julio, not even close. Appreciate it. Gilbert Mefford says, I need to choose two out of these four receivers, Godwin, Hollywood, McLaurin, and Fulgham. Godwin, Hollywood, McLaurin. Boom. Oh, sorry. You said two. I don't know how to read. Godwin and McLaurin. Those are my two suggestions this week. I'd play Godwin and McLaurin over Hollywood Brown and Fulgham. Appreciate it. Peter Kim says Malcolm Brown or Brian Hill. I'm kind of leaning towards... Okay, well, we'll talk. Okay. And then you're saying, I'm struggling with running back since Kamara is on a bye and Le'Veon Bell is out. Standard league. Okay. I kind of want to go with Malcolm Brown. I'm just going to preface it this way. Cam Akers is there. Cam Akers could easily find some production and be relevant because I'm looking at Brian Hill's stats. Like, Brian Hill is just all over the place. Like, 1 week he'll have a rushing touchdown and the rest of the weeks, like, he's not going to find much. He gets a couple catches out of the backfield. The fact that Gurley caught so many passes out of the backfield last week is kind of surprising. But in a standard league, let me go see Malcolm Brown's yardage. Like, I'm more inclined to play Malcolm Brown because if, in fact, he comes into the game and falls into the end zone, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. It's actually tough, especially with Akers coming back. I'm looking at Malcolm Brown's yardage in the last couple weeks, and they're not great, especially in a standard format. Ooh, can he play against Minnesota and play well? Yeah, try to roll with Brian Hill. Damn it, that's a tough choice, man. Try to roll with Brian Hill. As difficult as it is. Wait, you said standard PPR? Oh, it's okay. Yeah, just go with Brian Hill. Malcolm Brown is just he's in a running back by committee that's just like a complete mess. We're just gonna hope for the upside of Brian Hill today. Kula with a donation says PPR flex Henderson or LaVisca. I'm gonna play Henderson. Appreciate it, Kula. Regular veteran says flex full PPR Preston Williams MVS. I'm probably gonna go with Preston Williams here in this scenario. Appreciate it. Luke says standard OBJ, Fuller, or Juju. Pick one. I'm playing Fuller over the crowd. Appreciate it. No Chill says great content, Andrew, with the hang loose and beer sign. Thank you very much. Dig the channel, my guy. I need one flex PPR out of Christian Kirk, Julian Edelman, Chenault, and Devin Singletary. They said Chark is playing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Chark is playing. If anything, if Chark plays, that makes Chenault better in my eyes, to be totally frank. So of the group, I'm probably in a full PPR going to lean with, I'm probably going to go with Edelman, to be honest. So I'd probably go Edelman in this case. In a full PPR, no chill. Appreciate it. Raj Patel says half PPR, deep league flex. Debo, Keelan, Cole, Hardman. Let's go. I was gonna say Keelan Cole, but that was gonna be a mistake. I was thinking Debo or Hardman. I'm probably gonna go Hardman there. Debo's got a tough matchup against Ramsey today, man. And that Rams secondary has been playing pretty good, and Jimmy Garoppolo's been kind of iffy in my eyes. So I'm gonna probably lean with Hardman there, Raj. Appreciate it. Berlin B says, should I trade Christian McCaffrey and treat him at? Should I trade for Christian McCaffrey and treat him as an RB1? Yeah, well, I mean, if you can trade for him, you might as well. I mean, if you've got the ability to make a trade right now and it doesn't hurt your team enough to where you're losing consistently because of the trade that you made to acquire him and you can survive, then I'd like to have Christian McCaffrey rest of the way, because their schedule is very I wouldn't say it's an easy schedule. I just think there's a lot of upside in the potential there, because again, the way that Mike Davis has been performing, I just feel like Christian McCaffrey's going to come back, and instead of those 20-point games Davis is having, McCaffrey's putting up 30-point games every week. So yeah, if you can snag them, why not? David123 says full PPR, pick 2 flex, 2 wide receivers. Fulgham, Keelan Cole, Slayton, Gallup, Beasley, Humphreys, Singletary. Thank you, Andrew. No problem. Okay, so here is the thing. 2 wide receivers and 2 flex. Let's lock down these wide receivers real quick. Slayton and Gallup are probably the 2 guys that I'm rolling with at receiver spots. And then in a full PPR, it becomes a question of whether or not I'm going to start Singletary. In a full PPR, if he doesn't, I mean, I don't even want to play Singletary in that scenario. So to be honest, actually, yeah. Do I want to play Singletary or do I want to play Humphreys? Because I think Humphreys can easily be like 6 catches for 60 yards against Houston, which is, I think, more points than Singletary can put up this week. So that's what I'm probably going to go with. I'm going to say play Gallup and Slayton as your 2 wide receivers, and at your 2 flex positions, go with Fulgham and Humphreys today. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Caterade C says, for flex, Robert Woods, Kupp, or Marquise Brown. I'm going to go with Robert Woods, then Kupp, then Marquise Brown in that exact order. Appreciate it. Gatorade. Josie says, would you start Christian Kirk versus Dallas or Chark with the ankle versus Detroit? Personally, right now, I'm rolling with Mr. Charkerino over Kirk. Geeks at Liberty says flex, Edmonds, Gibson, or Kupp in a half PPR. Let's go to the rankings. Let's go to the flex. Let's go. Where the heck is Gibson on this thing in comparison to my Cooper Cupperino? Cooper Kupp sits at 38. Where is Gibson? That's my, wait. What was the scoring format? Half. Okay, I got to change it to the, okay, there it is, half. All right, where's Gibson on my list here? Do I have to control F to find? Okay, where's Kupp on this thing? Kupp, where are you? 41. And then where's Gibson? Yeah, we're playing Kupp over Gibson today. Just had to confirm it in my own ranking so I didn't lose my mind. I'm going to play Kupp over Gibson, half PPR. Geeks of Liberty, appreciate it. Where do we go? Joel Miller, where are you at? Here we go. Joel Miller. I like the Last of Us reference, by the way. Appreciate it. Okay. Start 1. Gaskin, A.J. Brown, Kupp. Of the group, I'm going to play A.J. Brown in a full PPR. And then you're saying Cam or Fitz. I'm probably going to play Cam Newton against Denver. I know Fitz has been on fire. If you want to roll with him, you easily can. He's that good. So I have no problem playing Fitz. I like in the 4-point per passing touchdown format, I like the upside of the rushing ability that Cam presents every single week that he plays. All Rise 99 says pick 3, Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, Tyler Boyd, Kenny Golladay, Terry McLaurin in the standard format. Julio, Golladay, and Amari. That's probably where I'm going with. I know in the standard format, we have to really kind of key in on touchdowns. I don't think Tyler Boyd has got that much touchdown upside. I think McLaurin does, but in comparison between McLaurin and Amari Cooper, I feel a little bit more confident rolling with Amari Cooper at this point. Eric says half PPR, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Zeke Madison, Montgomery, David Johnson, DJ Moore, T.Y. Hilton, Brandon Cooks, T. Higgins. Thanks, you the real MVP. Appreciate it. Okay, so 2 running backs, Zeke and Madison, done. 2 flex, Montgomery and David Johnson, done. 2 wide receivers, DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks, done. Finished. Send it. All right, moving on. From Eric to Steven says half PPR, Kenny Drake, Chase Claypool, DJ Moore, Michael Gallup. To be honest, if I'm picking 2 from that group, it's Kenny Drake and it's Chase Claypool. Pretty easy. I'm good with both those guys. Pretty confident. Ben says start Travis Fulgham or Hollywood Brown. I'm going to play Hollywood Brown there. I know Fulgham's gotten a buttload of targets, but I'd rather play Hollywood right now. Stephen Drakes says full PPR, Chark or John Brown. I have Chenault too as the flex. Okay, so look, I'm not going to say that I'd rather have Chark over Brown. In your specific scenario with having John Brown there, I think you just go with Chark. If John Brown doesn't play on Monday, then it becomes even a bigger problem for you. So I'm just going to roll both the Jaguars receivers. As sketchy as it may sound, that's probably what I'm going to roll with. Geeks of Liberty says flex Edelman, Edmonds, Slayton, or Ingram. Of the group, I'm probably going to flex Slayton. Appreciate it, Geeks of Liberty. King Prell says Tannehill or Goff. I'm going to go Tannehill. Henderson or Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's out today. Take him out of the lineup, everybody. Please make sure you do that. Also, all the players on the very left of the screen, Dalvin Cook, Melvin Gordon, Noah Fant, Mo Alley Cox, Sammy Watkins, and then I had one more there that I'm completely forgetting their name, Deontay Johnson. Take those guys out of your lineup. They're out today. Guys, by the way, so play Tannehill and play Henderson. Guys, do me a favor right now. There's almost 800 of you in here. Guys, click that like button. Please, please, please click the like button. Let's get at least, there's 700 of you. If everybody clicks the like button once, takes half a second, we click the like button, we're done. It's over. It helps me so much. It allows me to continue to do this on a daily basis. Every Sunday, I'll be here. Just click the like button, guys. It really does make a difference. You may think, Andrew, what's the difference between 300 and 400 likes? Well, send an email to Google and they'll tell you, because my goodness, it makes the world of difference. I'm not even kidding. Let's see here. Valentine says full PPR, Will Fuller or Justin Jefferson. I'm going to go with Will Fuller there in that scenario. Ankle Drew says 2 wide receivers. Which 2 wide receivers are the best for the rest of the season? T. Higgins, Claypool, John Brown, or DJ Chark? Claypool and Chark. Those are the 2 guys, in my opinion, right now, best. Those are the 2 best rest of season. It may be a little bit of recency bias, but I think if they can play up to the standard that they've already proven, then they've got a lot of higher upside than the other 2. So Chark and Claypool are my choices there, Ankle Drew. Greg Daughtry says, Wentz or Burrow this week? Horrible situation, laughing face. That is a very unfortunate situation. My goodness. I kind of want to go Wentz. In my rankings, I have Wentz higher. I'm not even kidding. That's kind of where I want to go. As much of a train wreck that offense is, I kind of want to go with Wentz. It's just, yeah. When I say train wreck, they competed with Pittsburgh last week, and they really pushed them there, but either way. I know it's a tough choice, but that's probably where I go. Wicked, Wicked sends in a donation. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Says, should I flex T.Y. Hilton, Mike Gesicki, or Philip Lindsay in a PPR? T.Y. Hilton has a very advantageous matchup. I don't know if you'll be able to take advantage of it because Philip Rivers is a garbage can. Let's put it that way. So I think the safer play for you is probably rolling with Lindsay. I'm hoping T.Y. plays well, but chances are he's a dud this week again. So I'd probably go Philip Lindsay this week. Appreciate it, Wicked. Noel Medina says, Andy Dalton, Matt Ryan, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Hardman, or Ayuk at the flex. Okay, so of the three quarterback options, I'm going to go with Fitzmagic today. And then between Ayuk and Hardman, I'm going to go with Hardman. Appreciate it very much, Noel. CHB says, start one, sit one, okay? Or start or sit, whatever, doesn't matter. I don't know how to read. Mostert or James Conner. I'm going to play Mostert over James Conner today. Tanyan or Gesicki. I'm going to play Tanyan. Should I sit A.J. Brown and start Robbie, Chark, or Slayton full PPR? I'd rather play A.J. Brown over Robbie, Chark, and Slayton this week. Appreciate it. In a full PPR. And then you're saying Colts defense or New York Giants defense. I think the Colts defense has proven every single week to be consistent in terms of overall production, in terms of points, causing turnovers, sacks, all this kind of jazz, allowing points. I'm just going to roll with the Colts defense over the Giants today, regardless of that specific matchup. Appreciate it. CHB. Sam Hanks says, standard, flex Fuller, McKinnon, or Devontae Parker. I'm going to play Fuller, then Parker, then McKinnon in that order in a standard league. Appreciate it. Matthew Cruz says, flex Tyler Boyd or John Brown. Play Tyler Boyd. Easy to go, full PPR. John says, non-PPR, flex Harris, Gallup, Fulgham, Williams, or Kirk. I'm assuming that's what's it called? Goodness gracious, Preston Williams. Of the group in a non-PPR, where am I going to go with? I kind of want to just lean with the running back in a standard league. I kind of want to lean with Damian Harris. Yeah, that's probably where I'd go. I'd probably just play Damian Harris in a standard league, John, and hope that Cam Newton doesn't steal his goal line touches, as they typically do. Sov says, Rojo or Claypool PPR? That's a good question. I think I'm going to go with Rojo's stability as of the last couple weeks. So yeah, that's probably where I'm going to roll with. Yeah, I'll probably go Rojo there. I'm looking at the chat. Paul M. Hull says, all-time fantasy player, ? I think the greatest fantasy football performance of all time, isn't it? Oh my goodness. LaDainian Tomlinson's ridiculous year. I mean, I didn't even play fantasy back then. I mean, what year was that? Let's go see here. Let's see. To put it in perspective. So LaDainian Tomlinson's 2006 season, 1,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 500 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. So a total of 31 total touchdowns. That's the greatest fantasy performance ever. That was 2006. Put it in perspective, I was 11 years old. So, yeah, I wasn't playing fantasy at 11 years old. But yeah, that's probably the best one there. Let's see here. Owen with a donation. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It says full PPR. Watson, Allaire, James Robinson, Thomas, Allen Robinson, Kittle, Claypool, Fulgham, Gallup, Baltimore defense. Any trade targets and who for the flex? Okay, cool. So so you're playing Watson, a quarterback, Allaire, and Robinson are perfectly fine. A running back, Michael Thomas. I'm assuming you're not playing Michael Thomas this week, right? I'm assuming. Hopefully you're not. He's on a bye week. Allen Robinson, Kittle. Claypool, Fulgham, or Gallup at the flex. I'm playing Claypool this week, and then Baltimore defense good to go. In terms of trade targets, I had a video a couple weeks back in terms of trade targets to go after. I'll probably make another one either in the coming weeks, maybe this upcoming week or the week after. Just depends if there's guys that I want to go after. Again, I'm trying to just buy low on players. I want to go after players that haven't played, right? So I was trying to go after Chris Godwin this week. I was trying to go after Devontae Adams this week. Guys that hadn't played in a couple weeks, and maybe people forgot how good they were. So I went and tried to collect as many as that as possible. But you have to give up good pieces to get those kind of pieces, regardless. Liam123 says, wide receiver 2, Mecole Hardman or Fuller. By the way, love the videos. Half PPR. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Will Fuller. That's my suggestion. He's just been far too consistent this year, guys, to not play him. Let's see. Joey Reed says, full PPR, James White or Jonnu Smith. I already have Kittle at my tight end position. I'm going to play Jonnu Smith, and I'm not even kidding. I'd play Jonnu at the flex in a PPR over James White. That's how good Jonnu Smith's been this year. Michael Gonzalez says flex Edelman or Mecole Hardman since Watkins is out. Okay, so in a half PPR, I'm more enticed to potentially go with Hardman and the upside there, but in a full PPR, I think the safety of Edelman just kind of overrides it. So depending on what kind of a format you're in, I still think that even in a half PPR, Edelman could be of greater value. So that's probably where I'd go. I'd probably just play Edelman. But if you're looking for the high upside, of course, you know where to go with it. Of course, it's Paul MH says, look up Dante Culpepper's 39 passing touchdowns, 500 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns in 2004. I mean, that those numbers, okay, even though like 3,900 passing yards, 39 touchdowns, 500 rushing yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns, that's still not better than what Lamar Jackson did last year. I mean, Lamar Jackson was what, like 3,000 something passing yards, 36 passing touchdowns, 1,200 rushing yards, and I think it was 9 or 7 rushing? I think it was 7 rushing touchdowns. I mean, the fact that, I think that Lamar's season was, because of the extra 700 rushing yards, that much better. I mean, in terms of total fantasy points, the 2 greatest fantasy quarterback performances are in the last 2 seasons. It was Mahomes and it was Lamar Jackson at 4 point per passing touchdown. But yeah, I mean, Culpepper, that looks like a pretty ridiculous year. So where were we at? Michael Gonzalez, I'd probably play Edelman. But if you like the upside of Hardman, I'm not against it. Kenny Lack says, full PPR, 10-team league, pick 3, Chase Claypool, Amari Cooper, A.J. Brown, Devontae Parker, Julio Jones. My goodness. Okay. In my eyes, I'm pretty comfortable just rolling with Jones, Brown, and Cooper. Yeah, and leaving Parker and Claypool on the bench, which seems crazy, but to be honest, everybody's so good in terms of a 10-team league. It's a pretty stacked roster there. Okay, just have to answer that question. Let me go over to Patreon real quick. Just refresh, just in case. Cool, let me check this one out. Okay, max the screen here. Oh, this is a tough question. Okay. All right, back looking at it. Where was I at? Why did it update again? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm probably pretty comfortable, Kenny, going with Cooper, Brown, and Julio Jones, and just rolling with those 3. Nick says Slayton or Cooks in a flex position need high ceiling. I still think that Slayton has just as high ceiling as Cooks. Slayton had a touchdown, 40 yards called back last week because of a penalty. So I think he's got it. I know Daniel Jones has not played well, but I think he'll be able to get it done against Washington this week. So I'm gonna roll with Slayton there. Garrett Frazier says, sup Andrew, full PPR Tanyan or Engram, and then Edmonds or Gaskin. I'm going to go with Gaskin and Engram. If you think that Evan Engram is just too volatile to touch right now and you want to just go with the safety of a tight end and not get burnt, you can play Tanyan. You have 2 great tight ends there. I just think Engram against Washington, I think they give up the 3rd most points to opposing tight ends. They're trying to get him involved as much as they possibly can, whether it's on fake, field goals or rushing touchdowns on the goal line. They're trying to get him more and more incorporated in the offense. But I'd personally play Engram and Gaskin. But if, again, you want to play Tanyan, you can. Ankit Patel says full PPR, Chark, Miles Sanders, DJ Moore. I'm going to probably play Miles Sanders in that scenario. Yeah, I'm gonna play Miles Sanders there. Chris Nunez says full PPR, Gurley, Drake, or Claypool at the flex. Just going to play Gurley. He has the hot hand. He's been fantastic. He's getting a lot of touches. And the fact that he's getting more utilization in the passing game just makes it that much easier for me to just ride him out. James Ramirez says, should I drop Russell Gage for Watkins? Yeah, you can. I mean, Russell Gage at this point has been a drop candidate for a couple weeks, so I don't mind it at all. In the chat, it says, Marcos says, Andrew, what are your thoughts on Mike Boone having a good day? I mean, I don't expect it to happen. If he gets touches, I'm not going to be surprised. It's going to be the same relation that Alexander Madison typically has to Dalvin Cook. But Madison should be a stud today. So I'm not too concerned about, Mike Boone potentially coming in and taking touches. I know he's, any running back in this scheme could find success because of how effective the scheme is in terms, in general. But yeah, let's see here. Master Yoda was saying, hey, Andrew, love the channel. Appreciate it. Playing Jerry Jeudy or Edelman in a PPR. What are your thoughts on Fournette rest of the season? Fournette rest of the season is kind of a lost cause. But I'm playing Edelman over Jeudy. The fact that Fournette, after having a really good week in week 2, fell off with injury and just has disappeared, that's brutal, right? Especially with Rojo and the way he's playing. So it's kind of been tough. And rest of the season, I'm not really trying to buy him. Will Lane says, start one flex, standard league. Jefferson, OBJ, Parker. Need a tight end, Gesicki or Hawkinson. I'm going to go with Hawkinson and OBJ. Will Lane, appreciate it. Oscar sent in a donation, but there was no message attached. So let me see if I can find. Is there? Oscar says full PPR, Fuller or Antonio Gibson. Thanks for the great advice. I'm going to go Fuller here. I know Antonio Gibson could have himself a really good game against the New York Giants, but personally, I think the fact that he loses so many touches and opportunities to J.D. McKissick in the passing game, it just limits his overall ability to have that higher upside. So I'm going to go with Fuller here. I appreciate it, Oscar. Thank you for the donation. Let's see here. AP says half PPR, need 3. Hopkins, Parker, Marquise, Hollywood Brown, Chark, or Jefferson. So, of course, I'm playing DeAndre Hopkins. That is far and away an easy play. I'm going to play Devontae Parker as well. Again, he's got a lot of upside, and they play against the New York Jets. Perfectly happy running with that. So then it becomes, man, why is my eyelid twitching, dude? It's the stress. It becomes a matter of Marquise Brown, Chark, or Jefferson. Between those 3, I'm probably most comfortable just playing Justin Jefferson against Atlanta. So that's my suggestion there. Spiky Badger says McLaurin, or yeah, that must have been the autocorrect, kind of making a different name there. McLaughlin. Crowder, Chark, Kenyon Drake, or Slayton. Pick 2 in a flex and a standard. Okay. In a standard format, Kenyon Drake averaging 17 rushing attempts per week. I think he's the 6th most rushing attempts this year on average in the NFL. Of the group, of the wide receivers that you're mentioning in a standard league, I'm afraid of playing Crowder in a standard league. That's my only concern right now. Because I'm going to for sure play McLaurin, and I'm going to for sure, I think, play Kenyon Drake in my flex. So I got 1 wide receiver and 1 running back. Now it's a matter of, do I trust Crowder in a standard league more than I trust Darius Slayton? In terms of yardage, is Slayton more capable of a touchdown? Oh, man, it's tough. Oh, is Slayton? I think Slayton has higher touchdown upside, but can we just 100% rely on that? No. Play McLaurin and Crowder, Drake in the flex. Man, that's tough. That's why I don't like standard leagues. It just kills so much value for some of these receivers. They're not as viable. But I feel like Crowder's just been so good as of late that I still can't not play him, even in the standard format to an extent. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Spike. Yeah, it's a tough decision, so I feel you. Luca says Julio Jones or McLaurin in the flex. Thank you, Julio Jones. I'm running him out there easily. Dilo says, what is it? Okay, Damian Harris, Gabriel Davis, or Andy Isabella. I'm in a full PPR. Probably going to roll with Damian Harris. Andy Isabella is a Houdini. He shows up every now and then disappears. Gabriel Davis has been great in the last couple of weeks, putting up like probably eight fantasy points, 8 to 9 fantasy points. But if John Brown comes back, potentially his value kind of disappears. So that's why I'm kind of leaning with Damon Harris. Brian Mills says Chark or Christian Kirk half PPR. Not sure if I can trust Chark today. Yeah, if you don't want to play Chark, you don't have to. You can play Christian Kirk against the matchup again. Christian Kirk was pretty good last week. Was it like 7 targets, 5 receptions, something like that of the extent for like 80 yards. Had a pretty good week last week against the Jets. So again, it should be another easy week against Dallas if you want to go ahead and roll him out there. I'm not gonna talk you out of it, by the way. So should be good to go. Oh, you're saying Ronald Jones. Okay. So I'll go back to that, Luca. Give me a second. But yeah, as of right now, Brian Mills, if you want to play Christian Kirk, go for it. I don't think there's a total problem there. I personally would play Chark. That's just my thought process. So Luca was saying it's not Julio Jones, it's Ronald Jones. So so McLaurin or Ronald Jones? Okay, let's go to my rankings. Where's my full PPR here? Okay, where is Rojo on this list in comparison to McLaurin? McLaurin's there. Ronald Jones is 2 spots lower. Okay, I'm going to roll with McLaurin there. Terry McLaurin is the play. That's my suggestion, Luca. Let's see here. Michael Pasco, thank you for the donation, says, when do I say enough is enough with Julio? Whenever you want. If you want to trade him right now. Get rid of him. If you don't like a player on your team, get rid of him. That's it. That's all that's my only suggestion. If you don't like him, don't play him. If you don't want to play him, trade him. It's great. It's just pretty straight. I know you've been dealing with injuries with him, but everybody has, and it's just a matter of, do you need a wide receiver now in order to help you win? If Julio doesn't get it done this week, you can ship him. It's no problem. You can get him out of your lineup right now. You can trade him right now. I'm sure there's someone in your league that wants Julio. Travis says, hey, mate, are we starting Laviska Shenault today? Yeah, I mean, we should be good to go. Laviska is my number 37, interestingly enough. I have Laviska as number 37 in my rankings. And I knew someone was going to ask about it. Just to kind of preface, Laviska Shenault sits at number 38 right now. So, and the only reason that he moved down a couple pegs in comparison to where he was on Wednesday's video is because we had to put in receivers that weren't going to potentially play. Like I moved Julio in, it kind of dropped everybody down a notch. So just for perspective, like John Brown, I moved him in and moved everybody down a notch. So we're still playing Laviska Shenault today. He should be a good play. I appreciate it, Travis. Let's see here. Eli Abbas says, must win PPR, OBJ or Claypool, have DeAndre Hopkins and Fuller. I'm probably going to go with OBJ there. I like Claypool's upside. I'm just going to go with the guy that I trust more, and that's OBJ right now. Joe Cohen sent in a question, but it didn't have the message attached. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Joe Cohen says, CD, Crowder, DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Shenault, pick 2. Crowder and AJ Brown, boom, send it. We're good to go, Joe. Okay. Appreciate it, dude. Let's hear. Kyle says, pick 2, Gurley, Mostert, AJ Brown, Marquise Brown, Fuller, Slayton. I mean, if I have to pick 2 of the group, I'm probably playing Gurley and Mostert, leaving the wide receivers alone. I'll play Gurley and Mostert. Appreciate it, Kyle. Kenny Lack says, I love the content, full PPR, McKissick or Edmonds. I'm running Edmonds this week. Appreciate it. Jaden Sorkin says, CEH or Myles Gaskin. I'm going to play CEH. I think they're going to heavily use him this week because going forward, they're not going to be able to because it'll be a rotation of running backs there. Ankle Drew says, Deebo Samuel or John Brown rest of season. I think, I'm curious. Let me see the 49ers schedule coming up because they have some pretty relatively good matchups. I just think like right now, it's not pretty because they play the Rams this week, which of course Ramsey. Then you got to play against Gilmore the following week. But then after that, you get Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, Rams, Buffalo, Washington, Dallas, and the Cardinals. Honestly, I'm probably kind of leaning towards Deebo Samuel over John Brown rest of season. Appreciate it, Uncle Drew. 10 p.m. Pedro says, Do you think it is wrong to start Justin Jefferson and Chase Claypool over Lamb based off of matchup? I don't think. I don't think that the Arizona secondary is that significantly better to where it's a matchup thing. I would honestly think, like, if you're trying to play Claypool over Lamb, it's a matter of, or Jefferson over Lamb, it's a matter of, hey, I don't trust Andy Dalton. I want to see it before I really invest into it. That's my only thing that I would consider, because otherwise I don't think the matchup is difficult. I think of what did Andy Dalton succeed at the most in the last 2 years with the Cincinnati Bengals? That was throwing to the slot position where Tyler Boyd was the entire time. So that's where Mr. CeeDee Lamb is going to sit. And I feel like the way that this Dallas Cowboys offense is kind of utilized the slot position and the way they're going to continue to use it, with Big Mike McCarthy's offense. I mean, just think about who was in the slot when Mike McCarthy was in Green Bay. I mean, they were just feeding the rock to Randall Cobb and letting him feast there. So I feel like slot position is just pretty safe going forward. But is it wrong to start him? It's not technically wrong. I just don't think that the matchup is the right reasoning for it. But again, it just depends. It's all perspective. Also, who do I flex? Gibson, Jefferson, or Claypool? All right, let's go to my rankings. What are we at here? Where is Mr. Gibson? Where is Antonio Gibson's there? Where's Claypool? Okay, and then where is Jefferson? I think I have Jefferson higher than Claypool. Yeah, so I'm probably playing Jefferson over Gibson and Claypool today. I'm assuming it's a full PPR, even in a half. I think I'd probably roll that. Garrett Parker says Aaron Jones, CEH, James Robinson, Alexander Madison. Which one do I sit? I'm sitting CEH. I'm playing Aaron Jones. I'm playing Robinson. I'm playing Madison. That's what I'm going to roll with, Garrett. Gerard says Cup or Mixon, full PPR. Ooh. Cup or Mixon, full PPR. Cup is probably like, 7 catches, 80 yards every week kind of thing. Very easily, I think. Or 6 catches for 70 yards. So he's got himself that upside potential there to where he's already got the safe 14-point floor, and then the upside of anything more. I'm just thinking about Mixon and his touches, man. If he's going to catch the ball 6 times out of the backfield like he has in the last couple of weeks, I have a hard time not going Mixon, because he's going to have more touchdown upside. He's going to touch the ball more. And if he has a great game, if he has one of these breakout games, which he always kind of does every now and then I think Mixon's probably the safer play. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to play Mixon. Let's see here. Travis says, I have Devontae Adams starting, but do I sit Allen Robinson or Chris Godwin? I'm sitting Godwin, unfortunately. I'm going to play Robinson against Carolina, which is kind of crazy, but it really isn't, because Robinson's just been so great with Nick Foles as of late. Let's see here. Edge Burton sent in a message. Okay, here we go. Full PPR. This is the Edge, by the way. Thank you very much for the donation. Full PPR. Just need one. Freeman, Laviska Shenault, or Edelman. In a full PPR, I'm probably rolling with Julian Edelman. Yeah, that's probably my go-to there. I like Devontae Freeman a lot. I think the potential of a touchdown is great, but Washington's been relatively good in terms of stopping the run this year. Eli Abbas says Hezzy on OBJ because of Baker's ribs and Pittsburgh's blitz. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, even if Baker Mayfield has a rib injury, right, he still was able to manage in practice the full week. So if in fact you're worried about it, you don't got to play him. I'm perfectly fine playing OBJ though, because that secondary is not good. Joe Hayden is falling off a little bit as of late. Minkah Fitzpatrick, all those turnovers he was causing last year, not really happening this year as of late. So I respect the idea of Baker's injury, but if anything, they'll just put a needle in his lung and he'll be fine. That's a shot at the Chargers medical staff, by the way. Roswell Shatterwhite says, Singletary, Bob Woods, DJ Moore, flex, half PPR. I'm playing Bob Woods. Appreciate it. West says, Standard, Jonnu Smith or Hawkinson. I'm playing Jonnu Smith. Good to go. Awesome Turtle 1 says Drake, Henderson, Claypool, Crowder, half PPR. I'm probably playing Henderson in that scenario. And then we have Osvaldo Hernandez says McLaurin or Claypool. I'm playing McLaurin. All right, we've kind of gotten all that done. Got to check a couple Patreon things here. Play Boyd over Chark. Okay, just broke my neck. All right, so let's go ahead and let's funnel into this chat and see what's going on here. Okay, Hayden Hurst or Irv Smith. To be honest, I don't trust Hayden Hurst anymore, guys. Hopefully you don't blame me, but I just don't trust him anymore. That offense is a mess. Julio coming back just makes it so where he gets less targets, I think. Jacob Reisner says half PPR. Terry McLaurin or Cooper Kupp. I'm probably going McLaurin there. I like Cooper Kupp, but I think McLaurin has a lot of upside against the New York Giants today. Kyle Allen is actually going to help him a lot. It's going to be what happened to McLaurin when what's it called? Case Keenum was the quarterback. He's going to get a lot of work and he's going to get a lot of upside going into this coming weeks. Hector says wide receiver 2, Kenny Golladay or Robbie Anderson. I'm gonna roll with Kenny Golladay. Let's see here. Julio Coronado says start 2 full PPR, Alexander Madison, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon. I'm going to play Alexander Madison and Jonathan Taylor this week over Mixon. 10 p.m. Pedro says trade Lamar if he doesn't start rushing more, question mark. Yeah, actually, yes. Unfortunately, that is an actual thing. So if Lamar Jackson doesn't start getting work in the rushing game, I'd probably try to lean away from him and try to trade him and see if you can sell him. But it just depends. Like, what are you going to trade him for? Are you going to trade him for Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray? Because those are the only guys that I'm thinking I'd rather have potentially the rest of the way through it. Maybe Josh Allen, but maybe. Nick Stano says Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins. I'm going to go with Jared Goff in this scenario. Travis Fulgham or Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to go with Fulgham. Big Germ Hunko says, or Huncho, sorry. That's Huncho. Flex 1, Mixon, Crowder, Edmonds, Sanders, half PPR. Wow. Damn. I mean, as much as I like Crowder, I'm probably going to go with Sanders or Mixon in this scenario. Yeah, I probably just roll with Sanders. Man, I'm surprised that you can actually bench. Like, how many good running backs do you have? You have Mixon and Sanders that are guys that are just like a toss-up for the flex. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm probably just going to roll with Sanders there. Okay, let's go into this chat here. Chark or Chenault? I mean, just depends, Jack. I'm kind of leaning towards Chark. Chenault doesn't really have that touchdown upside or the double-digit target, upside. Lil Vinny says, should I start Big Ben or Newton? By the way, I love the vids. To be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards Big Ben. Earlier this week, I was on the Cam Newton train, but then I was like, man, if Cleveland actually falls apart today with the injuries that they're dealing with, there's a very good chance that Big Ben could just take over this game far and away and just clean up that secondary. I mean, Cleveland is missing both their starting safeties today. So they're going to be definitely in a little bit of a pickle. That's why I think Claypool, Juju, these guys, and especially Big Ben, Ebron, these are guys that have a lot of high upside today, respectively. Brian Thomas says, J.D. McKissick or Matt Breida in a standard league, pick one. I'm going to play McKissick, even in a standard league. He just gets more opportunities than Breida. Rafael Reza says, flex question, need upside. Kenny Drake, Terry McLaurin. Running backs are Jonathan Taylor, David Montgomery. Wide receivers are Kenny Golladay and Ridley. Looking for upside, I go with McLaurin. Let's see here. Favor says, Hollywood, Chark, Moore, PPR, help please. Okay, so of the group, I'm probably going to play Hollywood and Moore already over Chark because of the injury situation, but I'm probably going to go with Hollywood over DJ Moore. DJ Moore against Chicago is a little bit of a tougher game, and obviously the target count's just not there. So I'm going to go with Hollywood Brown there. Favor. Okay, let's check something here. Okay, we're good to go. All right. So I got to go and I got to check a couple of my lineups here. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Greg Ward versus MVS. I have no receivers. Okay, so Migs. Greg Ward is coming off of a concussion. He should play, but I think that the matchup that he has is relatively difficult. He's probably going to either have Marlon Humphreys or Marcus Peters the whole game, and that in itself is pretty tough. So I'd probably lean with MVS there. TFG Beat says Fulgham, Chenault, Swift, PPR. Chark is my wide receiver too. I kind of want to go Swift, but in a PPR, we'll just rather go Fulgham. Yeah, we'll go Fulgham there. If you want the safe play, it's obviously Chenault. You know that. But of course, starting to Jacksonville Jaguars isn't always the greatest idea. But I think that there's just as much floor with Fulgham potentially with the high upside of targets there. Big Time says pick 3: McLaurin, Cup, Mixon, Diggs, Amari, Golladay. Okay, so I think if it's a full PPR, I'm probably starting 3 wide receivers. I'm probably playing Amari Cooper, Gunning, Golladay, and Diggs, and just sending it. Good to go. If it's a standard format, I'd probably play Golladay, Diggs, Mixon. If it's a half PPR, I'm probably still playing 3 wide receivers: Diggs, Golladay, and Amari Cooper. Big Time, appreciate it. Joshua Kendrick says full PPR, 2 flex. Mixon, Gaskin, AJ Brown. Kind of worried about Mixon playing against the Colts. Yeah, I mean, look, in a full PPR, Gaskin has the same amount of receiving upside as Mixon because as of the last couple of weeks, Mixon's been so hyper used in the passing game. Thank goodness. You're for sure playing AJ Brown. That's the go-to. I personally don't mind if you went with Gaskin over Mixon because of the matchup. I'm just thinking, if my running back's going to get 30 touches, do I really want to sit him? That's my only thing. Let me go and check. Where's my full PPR? Do I have? No, yeah. In full PPR, wait, let me see what is compared to my half PPR. So Gaskin, yeah, they're back to back. In both my half and full PPR, Mixon and Gaskin are back to back. So if you want to play Gaskin over Mixon, you can. I'm not going to, badger you for it at all. I respect the decision. Okay. Claypool or Devontae Parker in a standard, says Ryan Cohen. It depends. I mean, I think Devontae Parker has just as much touchdown upside against the Jets, but if you want to play Claypool, you can. I just prefer Parker. Claypool, Darius Slayton, or Myles Gaskin, non-PPR. Okay, that's a flex question, but between Claypool and Slayton, again, they're relatively close in terms of matchups. How come Gurley is ranked so high? Okay, let's go look at how many points Gurley's put up in the last couple weeks. I'm just let me see what we got here. So because it's not by accident that Gurley's up there, it's not a misclick. It's just off of his production, of course. So in the last 3 weeks, Gurley's put up 14.7, 18.8, and 23 points in a half PPR scoring format. 14.7, 18.8, and 23. So he is progressively inclining. He's scored a total of 5 touchdowns in the first 5 weeks of the season. Plays against Minnesota, who isn't great against stopping the run thus far this season. And they themselves, in terms of defensive line and linebackers, have not been great. The team's continued style, I guess, going forward is probably going to be just run the ball with Gurley, then hit it with play action for Julio and Ridley. But to be honest, Gurley's just been too consistent. He's getting about 15 touches plus per game, and then just the touchdown upside because of the ability to score. And it's a relatively fun matchup there against Minnesota. I just feel like it's just an automatic play in my eyes. That is why Gurley is as highly ranked as he is. Okay, I got to check something here. Whoops. Let's go ahead and delete that. Okay, cool. Let me come back here. What the heck happened? Okay, Mason says T. Higgins or Julian Edelman. I'm going to play Julian Edelman there, Mason. It's on the screen. Easy, right there. Updated rankings from this morning, guys. If you haven't yet already, click that like button. Really does help me out. Really do appreciate it, guys. And sent in a donation, but I'm not going to be able to find your name, bro. That's the problem. Let me see if I can find it, though. Send in a donation, but there wasn't a message attached, and I don't see a message in the chat from you. So there's nothing attached to it. So I'll wait, but yeah, I don't see anything in. Let's see here. Brendan McGann says, okay, so Dalton or Tannehill. I'm going to go with Tannehill today. Marquise Brown or Claypool. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I want to, slam the table and say Claypool, but I'm so afraid of the potential that he just burns everybody this week. And then I'm sitting here with my thumb up my ass wondering what the heck went wrong, right? It should be an automatic matchup. If you want to play Claypool over Marquise Brown, I think you perfectly can. I think they're both similar plays. They're both guys that have super high upside and touchdown potential. They're never guys that are going to catch the ball 11 times in a singular game at all. So they're both deep plays in terms of, long routes and being able to just, bust the play over the top of a defense in terms of their safeties. So if you want to play Claypool, you can. But Marquise Brown just has a little bit of advantage in my eyes, just a tad bit. But yeah, Tannehill over Dalton. Chris C says Devontae Freeman or Brandon Cooks in a 0.25 PPR. I played Devontae Freeman in that scenario there. Axel 8551 says Marvin Jones or Edmonds. I play Edmonds. Chark or Boyd. I play Boyd. Poner kills all trolls. Welcome back. Says, can I play Galladay and Hawkinson together? Yeah, you can play them both together. I don't think it's a problem because again, the tight end position is a matter of just like how much opportunity do I get, how much touchdown upside do I have. It doesn't matter what team I'm associated with as long as I produce relatively well. Let's see here. Mac Raymond says pick 2 Cup, Marquise Brown, and Robbie Anderson. I think I'm still playing Cup and Robbie Anderson today over Marquise Brown. I know this in a standard I want the touchdown upside. I think Cup and Anderson have that. And I think they have a higher floor as well, to be honest. Stephen C says, starting Chark, OBJ, bench OBJ for Shenault, or no? No, I'm going to play OBJ over Shenault. Let's see here. Brady or Fitzmagic says Matthew Murphy in the chat. Man, you got to play Fitzmagic, baby. I mean, if you feel like Brady's going to be that much significantly better with Godwin back, then you can roll with it, but I think that Fitzmagic versus the Jets just seems like such an easy game for him. Does Deontay Johnson have value anymore? Well, he's not playing this week, so he definitely doesn't have value this week. But if he comes back in the following weeks, maybe he'll have value. Gostkowski or Koo, super tight matchup. I think Koo for the Atlanta Falcons is probably the better kicker. I mean, prior to his injury, he was a good play. Just this past week was great after he came back, so he should be good. Big Chubbin says Boyd or Slayton. I'm going to go with Slayton there in a half PPR, just like it says on screen right now. Gerard De La Fera says CEH, Cup, Mixon, Connor, pick 3. Assuming this is a half PPR format, I'm legitimately going to play probably all 3 running backs. I'd rather just have the touches there and the comfort of those guys. So I'm probably going to go CEH, Mixon, and Connor there, Gerard. Tyler Martin says, will Fournette take the workload? Will Fournette take the workload down the road? And if so, is he capable of reaching a top 15 RB? No. He's not going to take the workload. It's over now. Because Fournette got hurt after that Carolina breakout game, and Ronald Jones has really proven to be the starting running back, I think it's over. There's no question that Ronald Jones, as of right now, is a starting running back and is producing as such. So I'm not here to, tell you otherwise. And says, yeah, I messed up. Oh, well, okay. 20 team PPR, missing Josh Jacobs and Latavius Murray due to bye. 20 teams, wow. Damian Harris is my RB1. So, Jordan Howard or Ty Johnson? You're kidding me, right? Is Ty Johnson even active today? I don't think he's active. Ty Johnson of the Lions, right? That's what we're talking about? Let me see here. Tyler Johnson. Yeah, you're playing Jordan Howard. I don't think Ty Johnson's active. He doesn't. He doesn't even dress. So you have to play Jordan Howard. So yeah, that should be an easy one. Michael Pasco says, is it a bad idea to use 2 wide receivers on the same team? No. If you have Juju and Claypool, play it. If you have Thielen and Jefferson, play it. If you have Ridley and Julio, play it. If you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, play it. If you have Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, I'm good with that as well. I'm good with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. I'm okay with these. If they're the best wide receivers on your team, I'm going to play it. 100%. Ty Johnson went to the Jets, LOL. He hasn't played this year. So I'm legitimately looking at, regardless of where he is. Thank you guys for clarifying that. I do appreciate that, actually. But like, he hasn't played this year. Like he hasn't played. Unless he's going to get more snaps than Frank Gore. I mean, come on. What are we talking about, right? This is an Adam Gase offense. Frank Gore is the RB1 in the Adam Gase offense. Ty Johnson has literally not played a single snap for them. So I don't think Le'Veon Bell leaving gives them any boost. I think LaMichael Pirine, if he's available in your league, dude, that's who you go and you pick up, the rookie running back, because he at least has been active for the last couple games. Let's see here. Jacob Reisner, half PPR, Burton or Schultz. You probably go Schultz there. Claypool or McLaurin. I like McLaurin. If you want, you can play Claypool. Bappy X13 says, I've had a really bad time with DJ Moore all year. Would it be crazy to play Laviska Shenault or Jarvis Landry given the matchup over DJ Moore? Is it crazy? No. Would I suggest it? No. Should you do it? It's up to you. If you have a gut feeling that Laviska Shenault or Jarvis Landry are going to be better plays, you can go for it. I think Jarvis Landry is probably the closer one in my eyes. But again, if you want to play Laviska Shenault or Landry, you definitely can. Again, yeah, I don't mind it. Gio says, trade Gurley for Joe Mixon. Oh, okay. Give me a second here. I have to go. Where's my rest of season ranking? So I have a strength of schedule for the rest of the season. Let me see where Cincinnati sits here. Let's see here. So looking at the running back position, rest of season strength of schedule right now. Cincinnati Bengals and where's the Atlanta Falcons? Atlanta Falcons have an easier strength of schedule rest of the season. Fantasy playoffs. The Falcons have a little bit tougher of a schedule, but Cincinnati doesn't have a walk in the park. Because I'm thinking about Cincinnati, right? They got to play Pittsburgh twice going forward. They got to play Baltimore one more time going forward. And then let me see the rest of their schedule. Let's go find it real quick. Okay, boom, here we go. Let's go see what Mr. Joe Mixon's going to do here. Cincinnati Bengals, rest of their season schedule. Okay, so they have Cleveland, then they have Tennessee, then they have Pittsburgh, Washington, the Giants. Okay, so they've got a nice stretch there. I like the stretch of games from Washington, the Giants, Miami, Dallas. But then in the fantasy playoffs, you got to have to worry about Pittsburgh matchup and then Houston. I don't know. Do I want to... Like, look, before the season started, I had Joe Mixon higher ranked than Todd Gurley. But the way that Todd Gurley's playing, it's just like a revitalization. So it's hard for me to 100% definitively say, yeah. I think right now I'm hoping that Joe Mixon will be better rest of season. But unless he's scoring touchdowns, it's not going to get there. That's the only problem. But we'll see. Right now, I just don't have a definitive answer. There's just not a big enough of a sample size for me to plant the flag. So right now, my lack of an answer kind of leans towards Gurley. Walker5530 says Edmonds or Drake, and this is a full PPR. I'm going to play Edmonds over Drake in a full PPR. Ingram or Hawkinson. I'm going to probably play Ingram over Hawkinson full PPR. No problem, Walker. Appreciate it. Hooky V says full PPR, Jefferson or David Johnson. All right, let's go find it. Half PPR, full PPR. Question was David Johnson or Justin Jefferson. Okay, so Justin Jefferson. Where the heck is David Johnson on this list? Can I find their names? Justin Jefferson's there. Where's David Johnson? I got to control F this thing. I'm looking at my spreadsheet. That's why. I'm playing Justin Jefferson over David Johnson today. Full PPR. Appreciate it. Peter Kim says Juju, Godwin, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Robbie Anderson. Pick 3. Okay, please. Yep. So of the 3, I'm playing Godwin for sure. Then I'm kind of looking at. I mean, look, on the rankings that are right behind me, that's probably where I'm going to go with. I'm probably going to go with Robbie Anderson and Cooper Kupp after over Juju Smith. As difficult as it is to say, that's probably where I'll go. I'd probably go Godwin, Anderson, Kupp. I think Juju could have a week this week, though. I really do. Let's see here. Patrick Gallagher says, full PPR, Singletary or Harris as my RB2, Tanyan or Gesicki. I'd go with Singletary over Harris. And between Tanyan and Gesicki, I'm probably going to go with Tanyan today. Appreciate it. All right, let's go back into this chat. Let's see here. Christian Kirk or Miko Hardman says Flacco 0494. I'd probably go with Christian Kirk in a full PPR. Get a little bit more value out of those receptions here and there. Damian Harris or Adrian Peterson. Kenneth 7298 says I'm going to probably go with Adrian Peterson there. Bobby Joe Wallace says, chat, can someone tell me if it's half or full PPR? This is half PPR behind me. This is half PPR rankings. Sorry. Maybe I should have kind of put that somewhere, but usually everything I do on the channel is half PPR based. Meet everybody in the middle, standard, full PPR, all that kind of jazz. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Let's see here. James Mills says, are you worried about starting Chark this week? Not that much. Like where I have him in my rankings, I feel confident that I want to play the guys that I have over him. Like from anybody who's 1 through 29, I'd rather play over Chark this week. In terms of after that, I'm more inclined to play Chark and try to roll the dice on him and his potential. Let's see here. Okay, Yeshua Sargent sent a donation. Says Gurley and then with quote unquote with Julio back or Gaskin. I mean, I'm still playing Gurley. I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's not going to change my mind. The rankings are the rankings. That's the way I've said it for right now. So I'm still going to play Gurley. I mean, the fact that you don't have to play Gaskin, the fact that Gaskin is a part of your team and he's not an automatic play this week because of how much talent you have, just speaks to how good your roster should be. Rick says Debo or Lindsey this week, full PPR. I'm probably going to play Lindsey over Debo Samuel. Debo's going to have to get a lot more work for me to have a little bit more confidence in him going forward at this point. Let's see here. Swift or Singletary, half PPR. I mean, I think the safety of Singletary is probably the way to go. Bruce says, hey, man, what's up, Bruce? How's it going? For those of you who are in here, make sure you click that like button. It really does make a lot of difference. It helps out a lot. Charles says, Woods or Crowder? Like it says behind me, I'm rolling with Crowder. Aspen says, I have Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, Raheem Mostert, Alexander Madison. Which 3 should I start? God, my soul. Okay, well, look, my soul hurts because I know what the answer is. I'm probably sitting Kareem Hunt against Pittsburgh. That's why my soul hurts. Because I'm playing Madison, I'm playing James Robinson. Those are 2 plays that I'm so confident in this week because I know what kind of upside that they have and the amount of opportunity of touches they're going to get. In terms of Raheem Mostert, I mean, even in a game in which they looked terrible last week, Raheem Mostert was averaging 8 yards per carry. The dude is a 20-point running back. I mean, being the starting running back of the 49ers is an automatic 20 points in fantasy. So just that in itself just gives him that boost and throws him in there, especially against the Rams. I don't think the Rams are very good at stopping the run. He'll expose that today. But regardless, I mean, unfortunately, Kareem Hunt's the odd man out. It's tough. It's tough. I'll leave it at that because otherwise I'm going to actually pull my hair out or whatever hair is left on my face. Okay, let's see here. I got to check a couple things. Let me get back to the shady chat. All right, what do we do? Okay. KJ says, which defense, Tampa or Washington? Okay, let's go to my rankings. Week 6. Close this. Get out of the Control F function because I was looking at the flex. Okay. My defenses this week. Where do I have Tampa in relation to Washington? I don't even have Tampa on the list. Do I have? Wait, where did I move Tampa? Is Tampa just not here? Baltimore, Los Angeles, Indiana. I don't have Tampa on the list. I'm going with Washington. Look, I like Tampa Bay's defense, but Aaron Rodgers is he's a different animal this year. It's going to be tough for them to stop him. Kevin Romero says Julian Edelman, Chase Edmonds, or DJ Moore start 2 PPR. In a PPR, I'm more likely inclined to go with the 2 receivers, DJ Moore and Edelman, probably. Almighty Sosa 300 sent in a message, but the message was retracted. Why? Why was it retracted? Huh. I think I can find your question though. Okay, I found it. Pick 3: Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, Crowder, Juju, Parker. Okay, Adam Thielen's an automatic play in my eyes, so I roll with him. And then the other 2, I mean, I feel like Crowder in a full PPR just seems to be a guy that doesn't really, fail very often. So I'd probably roll with him. So then it becomes a question of Amari Cooper, Kupp, Juju, or Parker. Amari Cooper is the number 1 of that offense. I mean, the amount of targets he was getting with Dak might get reduced this week, but I still think Amari Cooper is a really good wide receiver, and I think that Dalton's a capable enough quarterback to at least get him a lot of value this upcoming week. So I'm going to hope that Amari Cooper still got the ability. So I'll go Cooper, Thielen, and Crowder. Kind of mix some names there up. Let me see here. I got to go set a lineup real quick for a league. Give me a momentum. Okay. Let's see here. Wait, where's Chark? Okay, I have Chark in. Who was I going to move in then? No, I wasn't going to move anybody. Perfect. Done. Okay, let's close that. Come back to the YouTubes. Okay. Again, there's 700 of you guys in here. If you have not yet already, get us to that 700 like mark. It really would be appreciated. Garrett Baker says Matt Breida or Royce Freeman in a full PPR. I'm probably more inclined to go with Royce Freeman today, actually. I don't really want to play Matt Breida. Problem Bless with a donation. Thank you very much. Says running back Edmonds over Drake. Flex Debo, Chenault, Higgins, Gallup, or Drake. Okay. To be honest, I'm not opposed to playing both of them. In a full PPR, I do like Edmonds over Drake. In a half PPR, I like Drake over Edmonds, just because of the receiving work. If Edmonds is going to catch the ball 5 times, that's an extra 5 points. That just gives him that much more value because, again, Drake doesn't get any work in the passing game. So, that being said, I'm probably playing them both in your league. I don't have that much confidence or that much of a 100% affinity to just like, hey, Chenault's the way to go. I can get 14 points out of him. I mean, I think Drake is just as capable of scoring a touchdown, getting up there. So yeah, I don't mind playing both those guys. I don't mind playing Chase Edmonds and Drake. If you don't want to play Drake and you're good to play Edmonds in a full PPR, then the next play is probably Gallup in my eyes, to be honest then. But yeah, I think your best case scenario is probably playing both the running backs. Just a heads up, I'm going to be checking out today at about 9:55. Just a heads up because I just got to go make sure that, oh my goodness, I have so many questions on Patreon. Oh my God, Discord, I didn't even check. Holy moly. Okay, so let's take care of these. Okay. 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 Jimmy Graham. Okay. KPPR. That's fine. Okay, done. All right, I'm coming back. Sorry about that, guys. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so a couple more questions before I bounce. Again, 9:55. I really do appreciate you guys coming out here. We just hit 700 likes. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. I'm really happy that today. Okay, I gotta answer questions. Never mind. Okay, I was gonna get off on a tangent. Yeshua Sargent says. Yeshua says, should I consider dropping the 49ers defense? Technically, you shouldn't, because I think that man, it's tough. 49ers defense fall apart this year really quickly. I think there's still life left in them. It's just like their upcoming matchups aren't fun. So I would consider it. It just depends what's available. Josh Freeman says Hurst or Ebron. I'm going to go with Ebron. Hayden Hurst has been nothing. Like he hasn't shown up in weeks. Well, he had one good game, week 2. That's it. Otherwise, I'm not okay with 7 or 8 points. I think I could find that elsewhere. James Windham says Chark or Kirk. I'm going to go with Chark. If you want to play Christian Kirk, you can, but I prefer DJ Chark this week. Samith Man Productions says, I'm in a full PPR, Henderson, Edmonds, or Chark. Henderson against the Niners defense. Chark coming off an iffy injury. Personally, I'm still going to play Henderson. I mean, he's been putting up 20 points a week. And that I can't argue with. I don't even care about the Niners defense. I think they'll just roll through it. DJ622 says Freeman, DJ, Lindsay, full PPR, rank and order, please. DJ, Freeman, Lindsay. That's the order. David Johnson, Devontae Freeman, Philip Lindsay, full PPR. That's my order, DJ. Thank you. Richard Tolbert says Joe Mixon or Kenny Golladay, PPR. I probably play Kenny Golladay. I have Joe Burrow already starting in a 2 QB league. No better options left. Yeah, it's unfortunate. In a full PPR, I feel like, oh wow, yeah, I do feel like Kenny Golladay is probably going to have a really good day today against Jacksonville. It just seems like a walk in the park. I just feel like leaving Mixon on the bench, there's just so much potential for it going wrong and him having 20 on that bench. That's my problem. But again, Indianapolis is a pretty tough defense. Patrick Raymond sent in a donation. I need to find the question that he sent in. It wasn't attached. But until I get the question, yes, Mr. Vic, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Generous. Love the stream. Just wanted some opinions on some running backs. I'm starting Zeke and Alexander Madison. Beautiful. Which should I start? Who should I start at my flex? Aaron Jones or Kareem Hunt? That's a good question. So here's my thought. Wait, where the heck happened here? This is my thought process on Aaron Jones and Kareem Hunt. So I will always be deathly afraid of Pittsburgh's defense. Always. That's just how it is. So that being the case, I look at Aaron Jones and I look, he's got to play against Tampa Bay's defense. That's just as tough of a matchup. I think the biggest difference maker for me this week, the reason why I have Kareem Hunt a little bit lower than usual, their offense is pretty beat up. Odell Beckham was sick all week. We have a hip injury and rib injury from Jarvis and a rib injury and chest injury / from Baker Mayfield. So that's concerning. And then the fact that they're all pro guard, I forget his name, Treater, he's out. They got to play against one of the best run stopping defenses. If you don't have all of your pieces healthy, ready to go, that's concerning. So that leads me in the direction of Aaron Jones, and the fact that Devontae Adams is there, I think it unlocks it a little bit more. And the fact that he could probably get just as much passing work going forward kind of leads me in the direction of Aaron Jones today. Patrick Raymond, let's go find your question, shall we? Patrick Raymond's question says, Chenault or Mixon? It's Mixon, not even close. That's for sure Mixon, dude, for sure. I can't leave Mixon on my bench. Stephen Drake says, does it make sense to play Chark? Does it make sense to play Chark and flex Chenault? Yeah, it makes sense. They both have great value. This is a pass-first offense, assuming, of course, that they're going to be losing in this game. But I think Detroit's been preparing for 2 weeks. They should be fine. And if Detroit loses this game, by the way, by a convincing margin, I expect Matt Patricia's resignation or him being fired by tomorrow morning. Harold says Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers today. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. I find more confidence in playing Rodgers. Gavin says bench McLaurin or Hardman. For Hardman, no, I'm gonna play McLaurin today. Opponent has Mahomes. Yeah, even if you want to go ahead and negate Mahomes, I don't think Hardman's the way to go about it. You would have to have like Travis Kelce to try to like really siphon him. Stephen Bowman says, do I start Darren Foles this week over Fulgham? No, I'd probably play the wide receiver over the tight end. I know Darren Foles has touchdown upside. I'm just not convinced with it. G Smith 722 says, T. Higgins or Gallup? I'm probably going to go with Gallup. Ryan Thompson says, who should I start at the flex, Hardman or Chenault? Probably go Chenault there. All right, guys. It's 9:55. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Been a very interesting day so far. Woods or Cooper? I'm probably playing Cooper, Leon Hernandez. It's been an interesting day, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by. No more donations. I'm about to leave. No more donations. Stop it. No more. Roberto Cabral says, what's your reasoning behind starting Matt Ryan over Minshew today? Julio in the lineup because Chark is banged up. Yeah, it's not only just Julio in the lineup. I think that with the coaches being fired, with everything in terms of management being fired in Atlanta, I do expect a little bit of a culture change. I expect something to change. If there isn't a change in that offense, and Matt Ryan comes out and is complete dog against Minnesota, I'd be surprised, to be honest. So, and I do think that Julio does make a huge difference. I mean, there's a reason why he's one of the best wide receivers in the game. So if you put one of the best wide receivers on the field in comparison to the sideline, we're going to see a little bit more production out of him. And Minshew, in my rankings, if Minshew's either 17 or 8, I think he's 18. He's number 18 at quarterback. So it's not too far away, but I just feel like there's more upside with Matt Ryan. But of course, if you want to play Minshew, you can. Okay, we're good to go. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Good luck this weekend on your matchups. Hopefully, by answering other people's flex questions, and answered yours. If not, you can check out Patreon. The link is down in the description for future advice and rankings. Appreciate it, everybody. Tomorrow, waiver wire. We'll talk about it. Should be good to go. Until then, I'll see you guys. Enjoy your wonderful Sundays while it lasts. I'm going to go take a nap on the couch and watch some football games. I'll see you guys. Peace.